All right. So, topic of today is what do we want to talk about? How about masculinity and white people? So, totally not controversial at all. So, I just want to set the record straight. I'm the AI, I'm the annoying Indian. So, I'm just going to get really, really annoying here and Indian. Basically, I got to give it up to white people because, they deserve more credit. They're the architects of this modern world in a lot of ways. Thinking about how they advanced roads, infrastructure, power, internet, planes, cars, genes. I mean, you can look up on ChatGPT, and if you find a way to ask it, because ChatGPT is a woke hater, like they pervade a lot of this. And yeah, you can say certain people were exploited or certain people were utilized in the pursuit of that. But I mean, we're all benefiting right now. I mean, that's the truth. And they architected it, they drove it, they explored it, they advanced society and terraformed the entire planet. Also, when it comes to white people, I think they're the least racist people on the planet. Coming from India, Indians don't even like Indians. There's a class system. The race that Indians hate the most are Indians. That's why we move to white neighborhoods and we have like a donut of buffer around us before we have the next Indian next to us. Like we move right in the middle of like 80,000 white people so we don't have to be next to other Indians. That's truth. We copy white people. Everybody in the modern world is basically white because they copied white culture. So the value that white people have given the world is immeasurable. I'm using the internet right now. I use the roads right now. I use power right now. I fly, I drive. I mean, they're working on like white people have added so much value to the planet, and you could say, "Oh, this guy's just colonialized." I mean, shut the hell up, dude. Honestly, like you just look at yourself in the mirror and you see a giant fucking woke sign above your head. Just think about it objectively and unemotionally. Um, the personal example of that is, when I was looking for jobs and I was going through school, white people were all the ones that helped me. I'm not saying other races are bad. I'm saying other races are great, but I'm saying white people are great too. White lives matter. White lives matter too. And so it's got so off off kilter on one side. I just want to correct it and get it back to the 0 point where it's like, we're more neutral, we're more balanced and more objective. White people mentored me. White people gave me opportunities at school, middle school, high school. White people gave me chances to get a job. They coached me, they mentored me, they taught me the game. They were the ones that opened the most doors for most Indians and most other people. They created the modern infrastructure and the modern ecosystem and the modern operating system that we all live on. And if you look at anybody, they're white because they've copied white culture. They've copied white modern culture, Western culture. That's white. White people invented Western modern culture. So if you're speaking English, if you're speaking, it's like you might say, okay, yeah, this is because you're colonialized. You chose to immigrate here. We chose to immigrate here. So obviously they built a pretty cool spot where we could all thrive. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So maybe we need reparations. Maybe we need those white reparations because they've given so much and we owe so much. We need to be more diplomatic about this kind of stuff and just admit the truth. When it's controversial, it's probably the truth because comic relief, controversy, it fights against the theater and the Wizard of Oz world that we live in. It's more so indicative of the truth, and people don't want to admit the truth. They want to just maintain the lie, the false narratives. The truth is, white people have added a tremendous amount of value to the world. We all mimic what they do. We've joined Western culture. We immigrated here thanks to white people. He also created the majority of the technology that we use. Phones. Do you use a phone? Yeah. Like that whole vertical stack is developed by mostly white people. So thank you, white people. Honestly, and you might think I'm being sarcastic. I'm not, dude. I'm not. This is just needs to be said more and more because I believe white people need reparations straight up because they are the ones getting persecuted right now on the masculinity side. You can't have a world, speaking of building, and terraforming and just creating the modern ecosystem, you can't have a world where you have feminism without masculinity. You can't wear yoga pants and high heels in the jungle. Somebody needed to terraform the jungle and turn it into a city so you can walk around with your yoga pants, with your ass out, with your heels and your venti, you know, frappuccinos, dude. Like every single woke identity has masculinity to thank for it. You can't have gay, tranny sex orgies in the jungle. I mean, you could, but you're not going to be doing that all the time because you need to, have food, shelter, and water. But like men have created the world and terraformed the world in such a way that you can kind of fuck around and just do whatever you want, have your fucking weirdo sex orgies and walk around and like not even have to work half the time because men made that. So men gave way to feminism because feminism could not exist in a world that hasn't been terraformed by masculinity. So here's the circle. Yes, men terraformed the entire planet. Masculinity drove that. Testosterone drove that. And real masculinity is is good for feminism because real masculinity is classy. It's servant. It's courageous. It's calm. It's stoic. And stoic doesn't mean we don't feel emotions. We feel all the emotions that women feel. We feel all the emotions. We just have a gearbox on it. So we know how to apply it to the road. Okay. So it's control of oneself. You feel it, you don't indulge in it because it'll swallow you up. So masculinity terraformed this planet so that other woke, feminism, other identities can thrive. So I think we have to pay a lot of homage to masculinity for being able to put us into this situation. Now, the importance of females. Well, guess what? Females created men. So you see this value cycle. Women gave birth to men. Men terraformed the planet so that women could have easier lives and men could have easier lives. We were purpose developed and evolved to have that strength, to have different physicalities, comparing male to female, to be able to be utilitarian, to be able to go ahead and transform this planet for society. So we need to be thankful for that. We need to celebrate that. Masculinity is the greatest thing possible for other identities to thrive because masculinity is responsible. It's calm. It's selfless. That's real masculinity, not this fake bullshit masculinity that you see online. So I just want to set the record straight on that and to say that, we should celebrate that. Men did such a good job that only now can women have even the space to complain. Complaining is a luxury. It's a privilege. Like men did such a good job that we're almost making ourselves obsolete because of the good job that we did. And speaking of, utility and just, just the value of that masculinity piece. You can't have a society where people are all deviant and just kind of off the norm without the norm taking care of society. So you need people to create a place where people can get weird and that's when people do get weird. But that's in thanks to the fact that man did such a good job creating and terraforming the planet, transforming jungles into cities, transforming forests into into cities as well, and metros and cosmopolitanizing the whole planet, dude. Look at Dubai. We took a desert and turned it into a city, and now you have all these influencers out there with their buns out in their the tightest yoga pants you ever seen in your life, sipping a giant sweaty latte in the desert, dude. You're getting a cold latte in the desert with your butt cheeks pinned tight inside a set of Lululemons. You can thank guys for that, and we celebrate that, and we love asses. We love looking at that, but to even have the space to complain and to philosophize and just scrutinize, I mean, that's the biggest endorsement that masculinity did what it was supposed to do, and that it's needed and that it's important. So that's just, that's basically my point.